What's going on, everybody? Rob A here, and today we're taking a look at Cang Toys CT-05 THORILLA. Now, of course, this is a 2-pack. It comes with THORILLA and Rosirius, the jackal or wolf or canid of some kind. But I think for the sake of keeping this video reasonably long or short, I'm just going to focus on THORILLA in this particular video, do a separate video for Rosirius, and we'll just leave it at that. So, taking a look at the packaging, it's a nice big boxaroo, very nice foil detailing on the whole thing, really nice graphic on the front. Not too much else to say about it. It's a little bit smaller than King Lion's packaging was, but no less nice. On the side here, it just says THORILLA and Rosirius, and on this side, you've just got a nice image of the beast modes here, as well as some Chinese warnings. So that's pretty cool. Not too much else to say about the packaging. I will say opening the packaging was a little bit like playing a game of Operation, because in addition to Rosirius and THORILLA and Rosirius's weapon, you get THORILLA's weapon. You get these two braces slash gauntlets slash whatevers. You get THORILLA's gun. You get two of these bits. You get, where are they? Two of these bits. You get two of these bits. You get four of these bits. And you also get two small pieces that are meant to upgrade Land Bull for his combined mode. And I'll show this off quickly because I already kind of attached them. So you can see you've got these two bits here, one here and one here, pegged into the side of Land Bull's combined mode. And they come out like this, and they just flip up for the other modes. But to combine, they peg in very nicely on the sides here and keep everything nicely compact and tight and very sturdy, very stable. So I'm very glad they included those. They certainly didn't have to, and honestly, Land Bull seemed fine without them for the combined mode, but you know, this will just add to the stability of the overall figure, and I think that's a really cool thing. So we're going to push all this aside. There are places for these things to go in the various modes, and we'll get to that. But for now, I just want to show off the other stuff. Very quickly, I guess I'll just leave this here for now. You do also get in the package the instruction book, of course. All this good stuff. You get two collector cards, which, you know, whatever, that's fine. On Rosirius's card, it does show his sword, which is not included in this set. That will come with Huge Rhino, or Headstrong, whatever you want to call him. And of course, you get the little sticker sheet with the rubber pads for the wolves slash feet. That's not really important to us. So, without further ado, let's take a look at THORILLA. And man, he is a bruiser. I think if you enjoy Land Bull, I think you're really going to like this figure. He's got the same kind of feel to him. Just this super chunky, sturdy figure. It just looks really, really good. And just looks like an absolute beast of a bot, you know? And with these extra joints in the arms, you can get a lot of really nice poses out of him. So he does have some gauntlet cannons, really cool. And let's just take a quick look up close and personal at this guy. So you can see the head sculpt with the light piping, and honestly I don't mind the light piping so much on this figure because it seems to work a little bit better than it has on past figures. Especially with the past figures having like yellow eyes, it doesn't really shine through that much. It doesn't look that so great, but I think on this one it looks pretty okay. You can adjust the shoulder pads however you desire. You of course have the usual Cang Toys hands that go out and in a little bit, and they have the very nice articulation on the fingers. The thumb has 2 points of articulation, or 3, I guess if you count the swivel this way, and then a swivel this way, and then a joint right there, and the fingers themselves each have, well, they're on a ball joint at the knuckle, for starters, so you can spread the fingers out a little bit if you want to, and pull them in together if you want, and then they each have a joint here and here at the mid finger, and you get some really nice fists from that. You do get some nice waist articulation. Oh, it's a little hampered by this piece in the back, but you can swivel that out. But just overall, the aesthetic is really, really cool. I really dig this black and gold color scheme they have going for the figure. And I'll show off the nice big chunky feet. Now I will say there are no ratchets in the legs, and I guess I'm developing a little bit of a squeak where there wasn't one before, but it's not like a bad squeak, it's just a little teeny bit. So there is no ratchet in the hips currently, but that changes if you add this piece. Now this piece can go onto the figure in gorilla mode, but it's also meant to go in combine mode, because having ratchets that could hold up the weight of the combine mode would probably make it impractical to use in robot mode like this, but by just attaching these pieces, and they are keyed. Let's see here. See if I can get this on without too much trouble. There we go. So now you've got a super heavy duty ratchet due to that. So that's pretty cool engineering. I do like that, and I mean, it's definitely, you know, it can hold this guy up pretty well. It's not that big a deal. You also get thigh rotation ratchets, which is interesting. So, a very cool thing. Overall, let's take a look at his back. It's a very, very clean looking back overall. Back of the legs, sides, arms, all that good stuff. Just overall a very cool figure. These shoulder pads can move up, down. They are on ball joints, and these bits are hinged right here, so you can move these up out of the way if you want to keep the shoulder pads in one position and have the arms out. But you can also rotate them up a little bit as well. So you have some nice play there. Nice ratchets for the arms, and you can move the you can get the arms like all the way up there. This sounds like a squeak, but it's actually a ratchet. So you have ratcheted that way as well. I showed you before, he does have a waist swivel. The head is on a ball joint, as well as a not really a hinge here, but you can get some nice head down and some decent head up. You can't look up super high, but it's decent enough. And again, the hip skirts move out of the way. No ratchet out to the sides, no ratchet out to the front, but he does have nice chonky legs there. You do get those ratcheting thigh swivels, and the knees can bend right about 90. It is a double hinge, I believe. I don't know. Yeah, it is a double hinge. It's here and here, but just the size of the it all kind of restricts motion there. But not in any way that I find terrible, to be honest with you. There we go. He does have his weapon here, which he can hold. You've got a little peg hole there, or slot, I guess would be the proper term. And he's got the little peg in his hand. So you can just peg that in however you like, or not, if it doesn't want to play nice because you're on camera. And he can have his axe. And of course he could do the same with his gun. And the gun's even easier because it's got like a slide slot. In theory it's easier, but of course, you know, I'm trying to record a video, so nothing's going to work at all. Because even though I did this, you know, not 5 minutes ago in setting up for this video. Get out of the hand there. We're gonna do this. You are going to behave, or you're gonna sleep out in the garage. Yeah, he don't care. All right. So yeah, you can hold his weapon there. You can also use this peg to attach it to his shoulder, should you so desire. So you got that going on. So that's pretty neat. I guess he can also have it underslung too, and maybe that's what he's supposed to do, and I've just been doing this wrong the whole time. Yeah, that seems to work a little bit better. He's got the underslung. And of course, he also includes these things, which are meant for the combined mode, but you can also attach them in the robot mode. They have these little slots right here, and the pegs right here. So you just... Come on, buddy. Why? There we go. And you just kind of fold that over his hand, and now he's got like crazy power punch arm. You also, I showed off these bits, so you can swing this out like so, swing this out, kind of attach them just like that, and then you could plug them into the top of the hammer. And if they don't pop out because of the spring, there we go. You have a larger hammer with, you know, like gun ports or something on it. But you can also attach these spiked bits to them. Wherever the other one went, there we go. So you can attach these. And if you want to, you can also attach these. They slide in too, for no real other reason than a place to store them, to be honest. But you can just attach them like that and then have kind of a big giant mega hammer with which to whack the snot out of some Autobots. And you can wield that, should you so desire. So you got lots of options, lots of way to use his various accessories. But to me, I don't know, he just looks like he could kind of beach up pretty good with his bare hands. And plus he's got the arm cannons. So let's do some quick size comparisons, eh? There we go. Alright. Let's get some other boys in here. So here he is with his box mate Resirius. Here he is with his King Lion. And King Lion looks bigger, but I mean, honestly, he's like maybe a millimeter taller. King Lion just has so much stuff on him that it makes him kind of look bigger by comparison. Then here he is with you know, a you get the picture kind of figure. So you can see he is very substantial, quite sizable. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and then we are going to transform this guy into his gorilla mode. Alright, transforming into gorilla mode is not very complicated at all. First we want to raise these bits up. We're going to go ahead and just rotate the arms around like so, and give them kind of like that. Alright, now we're going to lift up the shoulder pads, and they are on a slider bar, and we're just going to go ahead and slide them back just like so. And at this point we'll open up the chest panel, rotate the robot mode head around, and fold it into the cavity, and then close it right back up. Preferably all the way. There we go. Now we come around to the back, open this panel up, and this is going to give us our gorilla mode head. And we'll just close that back up, just like that. We'll open this, rotate the hips, and then fold this down, and it's actually going to peg in right here in the front. There's a slot and a tab, just like that. Gorilla head is going to rotate around. Now the arms are actually on a swinging hinge, so you're going to unpeg it, swing it up and forward, and then peg it back in on that forward in that forward slot, and I'll show you a little bit better here. So unpeg it, you see these two pegs, see all these different peg holes in here. You just want this one pegged into the very furthest this way. So there you go, just like that. And now we can re-peg the shoulders in, and then just flip out these extra bits on the shoulder pads. There you go. I'm going to rotate the arms around like so. And then what we want to do is we're going to open up this panel here, rotate the hand so the thumb is facing towards the inside of the panel. We're going to open up this bit and swing out the gorilla hand, rather. Swing this hand in, and then bring this around. And you don't have to, but at this point you can rotate the cannons in and tuck them into the arm, or the shoulder, the forearm, rather, forearm cavity. I don't know why I can't words today. But just to show you real quick, here are the two hands. So you can get a good size comparison between the gorilla hand and the robot mode hand. It's very large. They did a really nice job. And also you can, if you want to, get like a like a robot punch action from that. I'm not sure what the deal is with it, but you can do that if you want to. Alright, so same thing on the other side. Open up both panels, rotate the hand around so its thumb is facing in. Swing out the gorilla hand, swing in this hand. And just remember the gorilla hand goes like with the palm, or the palm facing in towards the cavity. That'll help you later on with other transformations. And fold these in. And close that right back up. And you can, if you want to, rotate the thumb to either side of the hand. So that does help things. I don't know what you'd need that for, but alright, so now that we have this all done up, you could just leave it like this and have kind of like basically a gorilla Sasquatch man. But the intention is that you will rotate the legs like so. We're going to open up this panel, bring this section down so that this tab will now fit into this lower slot, whereas before it was in this slot. There we go. Get that all seated in there. Do the same on the other side. Can fold this bit down over here and cover up these red pieces. Then we're going to go ahead and rotate the leg just like so. Bend it just like that so that as much of this is covered as possible. Because there, like I said, there is the double knee, so you can get it bent like that if you want to, but I believe it's meant to go like this. There we go. And then the knee pads will come up and cover that area in. Just like that. The feet, the robot feet, will come up like so. The gorilla toes will come down. And then the, I guess, thumbs on the gorilla feet will come around like that. And pretty much that's what we're looking at. You just kind of adjust things to how you want, so you can in fact rotate these around to the front. And of course you can extend the fingers so that he walks like properly on his fingers rather than just his straight knuckles. So you got that going. And you can, of course, rotate the shoulder pads as well to kind of get all that in. And rotate the head up so you can see what he's doing. And there you have gorilla mode. And I gotta say, I mean, it's not the most posable gorilla because his back legs are basically like they're basically just stuck in this position, to be honest with you. So not too much going on there, but it's a bulky figure. I mean, you got Landbull's brick leg here, and you got this guy. I mean, it's hard to describe on camera, but he's quite bulky. And again, the weapon can attach to the shoulder, should you so desire. So he's just full on Zoid now. he is fully an Iron Kong. And you can also use the ratchet bits for the combine mode. They have a little keyed tab here that fits onto the hand. So you have like armored gauntlets basically. So you got that going on. You can use that, and that's pretty cool. So again, just a quick size comparison. I didn't grab this ahead of time, but I should have. Here he is with MPM Bumblebee Prime. You get an idea of the size of the beast mode. He is not a small boy by any stretch of the imagination. So very, very cool. And he does still have articulation. The head sculpt on the gorilla face is pretty neat. He still kind of has light piping, but it doesn't really work in this regard. I kind of wish maybe they had figured out some other way, like put more of the light piping in the back or whatever. But his eyes do look very dark this way. Mouth does open. It's got some teeth in there. Head goes up and down quite a bit for this mode, which is really nice. And you got some good rotation, articulation. And again, you got all the same articulation in the hands. I'll pull this off so you can see. These hands do also still have the opening or the tilt back. It's not quite as far as on the regular hands, but it's still pretty good. Still pretty good. He still has the tab in there, so you can still hold the weapons, no problem. If I could turn it around correctly, get it the right way. And if I could like do anything correctly, that'd be super handy. No? Alright. That's it. I'm packing it in. I'm calling it a day. There we go. Got it. So you can still, walk around with a little Dr. Zaius Doom cane or something. I don't know what he's doing. It's Professor Bobo staff. Now, the legs, the legs are pretty much just, they're just there. You can move this down, and of course, you can extend the legs if you want to. There's no one's going to tell you can't do that. And yeah, they look weird and hollow, but then you can just raise this piece up and do this, and then they look okay. Now I will say, he's not super duper stable like this, because the gorilla toes are not really, excuse me, they're not really meant to like hold up this much weight, so they do have a tendency to kind of fall forward. But of course you can get some nice chest pounding action with this. So very, very cool. I mean, I really like this mode. I gotta be honest, like this figure's right up there with the top for me. Like he's really fun to mess around with. Like really, really characterful. And yeah, so there you go. And what we're going to do now is we're going to pause again, and then we're going to get ready to go into combined mode. Alright guys, are you ready for some pants? Let's get some pants. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, we're just going to raise these guys up, and we'll go ahead and detach them as well. Alright, cool. And we might as well go ahead and slide those back on the same posts again. Now we're going to go ahead and we'll bring these two tabs out. So one on each shoulder. Just like that. So we got those going on. Alright. Now we'll bring these arms out and back. Come on, arms. There we go. Bring those back. Gonna go ahead and put the gorilla head away. So rotate that back in. That goes in like that. And we might as well just leave that untabbed there. And now let's get the combiner joint out, which thankfully is not too difficult, only because you can actually get your finger in there to rotate it around. But it does have a rotation joint right there. So that's cool. And now we can just close these up. There we go. Alright, leave all this stuff up like this. And take the arm posts and we're just going to slide them right in. Slide them right in just like that. We're going to bring these down. Of course the little tabs came loose. So we're going to bring these down and just tab that in just like that. Same on the other side. Bring the tab back down, bring it in, tab it together just like that. And we can just lift the arms up and out of the way for now because, well, you know what, let's go ahead and actually get the hands put away. Just as little stuff as we can have in the way is best. So we're going to flip the cannons back out. We're going to rotate the gorilla hands back around, untab them, and then just fold them into the forearm cavity. That should hopefully close up if this thing is seated properly, which maybe it isn't. I think we're okay. It should sit down a little bit more than that. So let's go ahead. Oh, you know what it is? Had a little finger out of place there. There we go. That's got it. Alright. Do the same on the other side. Make sure the hand is balled up into a proper fist. Open this up. Flip out the cannons. Rotate this back in. Make sure all the fingers are out of the way. This part can be a little tricky just because, and this part wants to come off. It's just held on by friction by this little clip here. So don't worry if that falls off. But I want to know why this isn't syncing properly. I don't know why it's not going in properly. Other than, you know, why would it? Because I'm trying to record a video. There we go. Sheesh. She's Louise. Alright. It's still not. Whatever, there we go. And now you can flip the cannons down. Sorry about that. There we go. And of course everything came untabbed while I was fighting with it. So, you know, it's fun. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. Believe me, I did not have this problem when I was doing it the 3 times off camera just to, you know, practice all this stuff. But, you know, as soon as you start recording, that's when everything just explodes in your face. All right. We're going to open up this bit here on the side. There's a little panel right there. We're actually going to go ahead and pull this up and out of the way, and this is going to be skirt armor, and it's going to pop right off the ball joint because the joint is so stiff that it's on. It would rather fall off than... Come on now. Come on now. There we go. Alright, cool. Same on the other side. Well, hopefully not the same on the other side. I'm going to use 2 hands. There we go. There we go. And you're going to fold down these little extra tabs. And we'll just fold that up and out of the way for now. Okay? Okay. So This piece is going to get opened as well. It's hard to grab. There we go. So it's this little thin piece here. Alright. Then this bit, it's going to come up. You might need a prying tool to get that. There we go. Just like so. It's going to expose all this stuff here. And do the same on the other side. Might help to get the hip skirts out of the way. There we go. Everything's nice and tight. To a fault, almost. Alright. So here's where you get some crazy transformation stuff happening, alright? So we have the whole rotating situation here. Alright. So what we're going to do now is we're going to lift up the hip skirts. We're going to lift up this panel. We're going to lift up this back panel. And now that's going to allow the legs to split just like so. And once they're fully extended, then you're going to go ahead and slide them up all the way to the basically the mid-torso. This can require a little bit of force there. And once you got everything kind of out of the way, you can close these back up to lock that in place. Do the same on this side. Close that up. Close that up. Now, we can collapse the pelvis back down and lock it into place like so. Bring these back down, lock this again, and now you got an idea of what's going on here. So we're going to rotate this around, rotate this around. We're going to untab these two side panels here, like so. We're going to go ahead and untab the foot, which is just held in by a tab over here. So we're going to rotate just like that. This is going to come up like so. And we're going to rotate this whole situation up here. And then this is going to come rock forward and then tab into the side like this. Flip the gorilla toe down. Now we want to just rotate that up just like that. I'm going to flip open this front panel here. We're going to open this section as well. Again, it's just a little friction thing. And now we got to get the combiner joint out. Which, again, they made a nice hole for like your finger to go through, but doesn't always. Finger's not always going to be enough. You need a little bit more leverage. To get that sucker out. But once you do get it clear, you can use whatever to bring it down, like so. Close that back up, and then we're just gonna. Actually, you could leave this up and kind of use it to lock that whole situation in place. This panel, which flipped back down, is coming back up again. And it's going to tab right onto the tab that's on there. Close this up, bring this up and around, and it's going to tab in right there. And I think we have one leg basically done. Oh, no. Yeah, okay. Yeah. One leg basically done there. Alright, cool. Same on the other side here. I'm going to go ahead, open this up beforehand. Open all these panels. Rotate it up and around. This panel can go back a little bit just so it doesn't collapse again. And then get this out of the way. Bring this whole situation up. Alright. There we go. I try not to use tools whenever possible, but sometimes you just get these super stiff joints like this and you can't really do too much about it. But thankfully, like, they made it to where you can use tools and it won't do too much harm. Hopefully. And then just close that back up and close that up. And then again, rotate the foot a little bit so that you can bring it back. And it doesn't want to play nice today. There we go. Just peg it on there. This flips down. That looks good. This can come down here and just tab on to that. And then this one, this side panel, will rotate up and just tab into the front. And there you go. Actually, we want to move these panels out to the side so that we can attach our ratchets. So go ahead and do that. And then you can put that panel back up. Ratchet. And then pop that panel back up. These are going to come out to the side as hip skirts. Now we'll finish the bum area. So you want to make sure you have as many joints as possible here. And there is a slot right here and a tab right here. As you can see, it's a little worn out already because it is going to like friction into this slot here. There we go, just like that. And the same on the other side. Whoop. Just make sure everything's working correctly. There we go. All right. Okay, that one's in. That one's in. Then the hip skirts, just again, a lot of these are all just clips. So they're made to like come unclipped if they're too finagled around, but at the same time, they're also like very stiff, so they have a tendency to pop off rather than to move right now, but I'm sure over time they'll loosen up and get a little easier to manipulate. So don't take that as bad QC, it's just, you know, new figure stuff. So you can rotate that down and kind of have it hang down properly like that. And then, of course, I'm not going to combine the entire figure, but I do want to show off the knee brace here. That's the wrong one. It's this one. So you can absolutely, we got to, first we got to grab this guy. Like so. There we go. Combine that guy. And then this just slides right into the back here. And there's nothing really to lock it into place on its own. But it is, as you'll see, very stiff. I mean, it's definitely a solid connection. It's not going anywhere. But, you know, just this is not going to, this isn't going to hold it in place, that's for sure. So what they've provided, and I'll show you guys without the, as best I can, because this thing is ridiculously huge. Alright. So, it's very stable, and you can get an absolute full 90 degrees just with that, and slightly more using Landbull's connection point. But what they do suggest is using this brace, and I'm going to try it out and we'll see how it looks, how we feel about it, and what our options are with it. So you can see we've got a couple of posts here. We've got a little slide right here that flips up, and then this whole thing opens up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick this guy up, slide this right across, like so. This is meant to, I believe that's meant to slot in like that, tab in. Oh, you can't really see what I'm doing, sorry. So this piece tabbed into the screw holes on THORILLA's knee area. And then this is going to come around here and connect to this, and then it's going to lock shut. And then this brace is intended to, you got these two tabs here and these two holes here. It's intended to kind of come around, and again, it's super stiff, so I apologize, but it's intended to tab in like that, and then you've got this big knee brace thing, and you can still move this out of the way, and then you still get knee movement, but basically I think this brace is much more intended for display purposes rather than play purposes, because it does seem to limit articulation to some extent, but it also limits the amount of play in the joint, so that it really won't move around on you once you get it all settled. And I don't even have anything really that can substitute as the other leg, unless I can bring the box for this guy in and maybe just set it on that for now. Yeah, so it's going to be a very, very large combiner. Just going by just where the torso ends is 14.5 inches, or not the torso, but just where like the torso begins is going to be 14.5 inches. So it's going to be a very large combiner. It's very, very difficult to try and manipulate on camera. Yeah, but also very impressive. I may just have him without the braces, and it's totally fine to do that. I don't really see any issue with that. So if you're worried about it, don't be. It seems like if you want to have it on display, the braces will add that extra stability so that it won't like topple over on you. But just with the size of the feet and the extra elements to kind of stabilize those, and just everything else that's at play here, I feel like you're going to have a pretty solid combiner, and you're not going to have to worry too much about it going anywhere. Yeah, and THORILLA is an awesome figure. You know, obviously mine is brand new. The joints are still super tight, so stuff is kind of popping off here and there where it needs a little bit of extra love and attention. But that's just me ham-handsing a little bit too. So, all that said, man, it's a cool figure. It's going to be an amazing combiner. So, it's time to jump on board if you haven't already. And in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.